Welcome to my Molly lineup guide for Pearl. We're starting off on B here because, well, it's changed up quite a bit since the last time we were able to play this map in comp. Timestamps will be listed below for returning viewers or anybody that would like to skip ahead to a certain Molly. We're going to start things off here with what I still feel is the most optimal plant for the B site, which will be in this corner here for long. Now, you are going to want to be careful if you plant for long because they did just add this little bit of cover here, which you cannot wallbang this at all with an Odin. So if you're playing long, you're going to have to play a little bit closer and push up a little bit if you want to check the bomb. And now, let's get to the lineups. I actually have two versions of this first one, which are both going to be from the same corner. Now, for this first one, the old way was to use this corner that's formed with the pipe and the ledge. But we're actually going to move up to where this pipe forms a corner with this tile. But we're going to have the same reference point, though, which is the left tip of the line in between your stim and Molly, just resting on that corner.
Molly!
As I said before, I have another version of this Molly from the same exact corner. But this time, we're going to pay attention to this tile and line up the line that sticks out of the top of your health HUD with that tile like so. So it's lined up with the middle of it where the ledge touches the tile.
Molly!
And then this Molly will go in that little gap right there and still spread onto the bomb, making it an undodgeable Molly. The only way that this Molly can really be countered is if someone expects it to go there or if they have a veto interceptor. This next one's for B-Link. You're going to wedge yourself into this corner. And then you want to line up where this corner is formed with these two lines with the bottom tip of the arrow that is in your mouse HUD box.
Molly!
From mid shops, you can wedge yourself into this corner. And then just line up your stim icon with this window.
Molly!
Last one I got for this plant's from CT. Just wedge yourself into this corner. And then line up the top tip of your Molly icon with where this point in the window meets the wall right here.
Molly!
Now for the safer plant option, I don't typically like planting there, but if the bomb has to go down right there, here's a few lineups that you can use. This first one, you're going to wedge yourself into this corner and long. And then you want to line up the right tip of your health HUD with this tip of this graffiti on the wall.
Molly!
This next one's from Link. You're going to wedge yourself into this corner. And then you're just going to line up where this corner is formed with these lines with the left tip of the line in your mouse HUD box.
Molly!
And lastly, for this plant from CT, wedge yourself into this corner. And then line up the line in between your stim and Molly icons with this part of the window.
Molly!
I've got some execute lineups for you guys to use on B as well. This first one's going to Molly off the left side of halls. What you want to do for this is you're going to wedge yourself into this corner. And then you want to line up this spot that's holding the pipe with the bottom line in your mouse HUD box.
Molly!
This molly will also force anybody that's tucking in here to get out. And they won't be able to tuck here either. So, the only thing they can really do to try to stay alive is get out. This next one's gonna molly off anybody playing the right side of holes for if your team is ready to push. What you can do, you're gonna go into the same corner that we were just in, except we're gonna use this line in the window right here. All you need to do is just rest the right tip of your mouse HUD box on the left tip of that line like so.
Molly.
Now let's say you have enemies that are playing B-Link and you're not doing a B-split. Here's a molly that you can use for them if you want to stop them from swinging out. You're going to find this dot on the wall where I just pinged. You're going to line yourself up with it and push up against the wall. And then, all you need to do is just rest the left tip of the line in between your molly and smoke icons with that corner of the window.
Molly.
And then let's say you are doing a B-split and you want to help your teammates that come in from mid to take control of Link. Here's a molly that you can use to block off anybody peeking out of mid connector. You're going to wedge yourself into this corner here. And then all you need to do is just rest the top dot in your smoke icon with this corner on the lantern.
Molly.
And then you'll also want to smoke this spot off for maximum effectiveness. Moving over to A, we're going to start off here with the default plant in the corner there. This first one's going to be from main. You're going to wedge yourself into this corner right here. And then all you need to do is just rest the top right corner of your mouse HUD box with this corner right here.
Molly.
We're backing up even further for this one. You're going to push up against this part of the wall. And then all you need to do is just rest your crosshair on the corner of this line right here on these bricks.
Molly.
This molly does land really fast, but you also need to keep in mind that you will not be able to hear the bomb get tapped if you're using this molly. So have another teammate let you know when/if enemies tap the bomb. This next one's from mid. You're going to notice this flower pot right here. You just want to line yourself up with it and push up against the wall. And then you're going to see this corner here that's formed with the pipe and the ledge here. You just have to line up the top left corner of your mouse HUD box with that spot.
Molly.
And then finally from secret, just wedge yourself into this corner here. And then it's really easy with this one. Just rest your crosshair on this leaf right here.
Molly.
Now, if we were able to put the bomb down in a more open spot, that way your Link player or main player will be able to watch the bomb. Here's a few lineups for that. This first one, we're going to be hitting mid-connector. You're just going to wedge yourself into this corner here. And then you just need to rest your crosshair where this corner is formed with these two roofs right here.
Molly.
There's a little bit of a bonus with this molly as well, because it actually does cover the default plan as well. This next one's from main. Just wedge yourself into this corner. And instead of using this spot here, we're going to use this spot. Just line up the top left corner of your mouse HUD box with that spot.
Molly.
And the neat thing about this molly, it has the same bonus as the molly that I just showed you from connector. It will also cover the default plant here, so just use whichever one is easier for you if you plant default and want to play a lineup from main. This next one's from mid. We're going to go to this same flower pot right here and then push up against the wall. And then we're going to line up this corner that's formed with the wall and this ledge with the dot in our mouse HUD box.
Molly.
And just like the last two lineups, this one also has that added bonus where it will actually cover a little bit of default as well. So again, just use whichever one is easier for you if you would plant default and want to play a lineup from mid. And then let's say the bomb gets planted in this corner here. I've got some lineups for there too. This first one's going to be from main. You're just going to wedge yourself into this corner. And then you're going to pay attention to these ruins along with this beam. You're going to aim your crosshair in between those two, but you're going to aim a little bit up from the halfway point in between them.
Molly.
This next one's from mid connector. Just wedge yourself into this corner. And then just rest the left tip of your health HUD with this corner in the wooden beam here.
Molly.
And then from CT, just wedge yourself into this corner here. And then line up the top of the line that sticks out of your health HUD with that corner on the wall.
Molly.
Now I've got some execute lineups for A. This first one's going to flush out anybody that plays Dugout. All you need to do from here is you're going to wedge yourself into this corner. And then you're going to see this bar right here. You just want to line up the bottom tip of the triangle in your stem icon with the center of that bar, like so.
Molly.
This next one's going to stop anybody from swinging out of your smoke in secret. We're going to be in the same corner that we were just in right here. Except, we're going to use this line right here as our reference point and just line up the top left corner of the mouse HUD box with the tip of that line right here.
Molly.
This next one's going to stop people from flooding in from flowers. We're actually going to be in this corner this time. And then you want to pay attention to this corner here that's formed with the darker part of the beam and this part of the bigger beam here. All you need to do is just rest the bottom tip of the triangle in the mouse HUD box with that corner that's formed right there, like so.
Molly.
If you know somebody plays back sight and you want to force them out of here, here's a molly that you can use for that. We're going to be back in this corner here, except we're going to use this corner here that's formed with the beam in the distance and this bar. You're going to line up the bottom tip of the triangle in your stem icon with where that corner is formed.
Molly.
And then finally, if you're not doing an A split, here's what you can use to molly off any link players. What you're going to do here is you're going to go into this corner. And then you're just going to rest the left tip of your health HUD with this corner in the window right here.
Molly.
Now I've got some defensive lineups for you guys, but before I do that, I just want to show you my go-to spot for this map, which would be in this corner here. Because for one, you'll be able to catch any mid lurkers. For two, from this particular corner, there's a molly that you can use to block off either the A main choke or the B main choke. And then for three, what you can do from that corner is you'll actually be able to hear if enemies are sprinting down B trying to hit it. But enough talk about that. For this first one,
Right
wedge
here.
yourself into this corner, and this one's gonna block off A main. You just want to line up your crosshair with this corner in the window, and then you want to aim up until it meets this line right here.
Molly.
If you do play B-Link, I would recommend having this lineup ready to go in case they are pushing A. But let's say you hear enemies sprinting down B and they start making contact. You can quickly turn around and then just aim your crosshair on this point right here.
Molly.
And then combine this molly with a smoke for maximum
Smoke's down.
effectiveness. And then finally, let's say you're playing Art, or if you're playing A in particular, and you get a call that enemies are pushing B. What you can do is just wedge yourself into
Right
this
here.
corner, and then line up this spot in the fence right here with the right tip of your health HUD.
Molly.
And then this molly will block off the B main choke. If you enjoyed that video, check out one of these ones next. Also, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content.